saying.
So point of order here.
Okay.
He's saying he thinks it may not be online.
Okay, should we pause for a minute?
Yeah, I
Just
would.
one
Okay.
second.
Voting members, Jamal, Mike.
This says it's doing it.
That's weird, 'cause I went onto our website and clicked on the link, and it just shows
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, that's good.
countryside.
Quick question.
Yes.
Dante and Al,
It doesn't
Did
appear
they
to
vote on
be,
it?
so
they
what?
don't vote on this, do they?
Weren't they there?
On
Start
UAW?
virtual.
It says
Yeah,
waiting
I saw
for
them
East
too.
Amwell Township on
They
the
walked
YouTube
out?
video side.
I went and looked and tried to watch the video.
It says
The
it's
last
streaming.
Okay.
That's so weird.
You walked out for UAW, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you.
There's Rich and,
Now I have, okay, now we're good.
Jamal.
We're good?
Yep.
It's going?
Yeah,
There was some
I mean, I'm not listening to
procedural
this
issue that came up.
audio.
Alexa said,
Okay.
you're not voting, so you don't have to
Right.
leave while the rest are
Oh,
voting.
so I looked on the video. Okay.
But we didn't participate in it.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we back in session? Okay, I'm going to start at the resolution.
Okay.
The resolution for approval. May I have a motion to approve Planning Board Resolution 2024-8? This is the UAW matter.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Candace, would you take the roll call?
Yes. Mr. Kohat.
Yes.
Mr. Cadre.
Yes.
Mr. Katnachi.
Yes.
Ms. Van Horn is not here. Yeah.
Ms. Van Horn's not here. Ms. Torrisi's not here.
Okay, so I think with three, I think that's fine. All approved, but I think it's fine that it passed.
Kristen says it's
I will double check with Alexis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going, this
Yeah.
isn't really, yeah.
Yeah.
Next one up,
Emily, I would just say for the record, Al and I abstained because we didn't participate.
thank you,
Right.
yep. This is also being recorded. May I have a motion to approve Planning Board Resolution 2024-9? This is the 52 Ringo's Road matter. May I have a motion to approve?
I so moved.
Candace, okay. May I have a second?
Second?
Candace.
Roll call.
Yep,
Ms. Dedweiler.
yes.
Mr. Kohat.
Yes.
Mr. Cadre.
Yes.
Mr. Katnachi.
Yes.
Ms. Wiggum. Yes.
And Mr. McGovern was not here, okay. So that one's adopted.
In an abundance of clarity, I'll just say Al and I also abstained because we are recused and did not participate.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you keeping us on straight. So unfinished business, Robert Monahan matter. This will be continued till January 21st, 2025 with no further notice. New business, calendar. So at the beginning of January, when we reorg, just I want to make sure everyone realizes that reorg is January 21st, 2025. You're all invited, I think. At the beginning of reorg, we will officially adopt the dates, which I've actually printed them out and handed them out to hopefully make it easier for everyone. I also wanted to attempt to get a couple extra dates on the calendar. This is to accommodate a backlog we have right now and also to allow for training or work sessions. I am not promising that these dates will work. I'm not promising that we'll actually adopt them in January, but I figured I'd like to get the feedback now. If you'll be available, then I know if either way I have a chance at having a quorum. Can you pass this down to Mr. Kakachi? If you can just, if you want to let me know now, or if you want to email Kristen later on, that's fine. It's January, a couple dates. I'd just like to get them on the calendar. That way we don't have to notice a special meeting, that nature. So, other than that, all of the dates are, it's the third Monday of each month, except for when that falls on a holiday, which will be January and February.
Correct.
So,
And the
any-
28th and the 25th of March are both Mondays.
Tuesdays they should be. Did I do it wrong?
No, these are the extra dates that you
Oh,
have.
are those Mondays? They should have been Tuesdays.
These are both Tuesdays.
Oh, they should, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they should have been Tuesdays. Go ahead.
I just realized you asked me earlier about February. I am also unavailable February 18th, which is the Tuesday there.
Okay.
Holiday, so we have a problem with that.
Should we consider, okay, that's good to know. let me take that into advisement. If we can get the extra, if I could get everyone on that February date, what is that, February?
18th.
Or no.
You got January 21st,
If we could get
28th.
everyone on January 28th, we might be able to have 2 meetings in January to take care of the applicants. Otherwise, we'll sort that out as well. Otherwise,
January 28th is a Tuesday, just as point of information.
yes,
Okay.
those should be done Tuesdays. I actually did ask our professionals when they would be available before I came up with those dates.
Okay.
So that's where, and again, this is early days. Unless we hear otherwise, these are the dates, the regular meeting dates, those are the ones we will be adopting in January. I'm proposing to add additional dates if they work with everybody here and if I can, and our professionals. It gives us some flexibility.
Right, we just need to add November and December to this.
Oh, did that cut off before I printed?
Yeah.
At least on my sheet, you know,
Oh,
unless
Yeah,
you're
it
trying
was
to tell
off
me
on the other
something.
one, too.
No, apologies. I was printing it. I Control-C, Control-V in a hurry. Said, oh, let me print these out to make it easier for everyone. Of course, Mr. Kanachi, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, but I wanted to say that I'm not available on the 28th because I changed my flights to Jamaica to make the meeting
Regular
on
meeting.
the 21st.
But you only
because I
changed
didn't
them,
want to
if you
miss
changed
that.
them in the last 24 hours, you could still fix that.
No.
I'm
The divorce, you'll have to deal with the divorce.
Okay, I cannot afford that. Okay.
He changed it because he originally was going to fly out on the Monday. And
The
I
Tuesday,
said-
yes.
And I said to him, is that necessary? Can't we wait until Wednesday?
Okay.
Needless, that's all I'm saying.
Can't make everybody happy.
I definitely cannot make that one.
Yeah, okay. That's good to know.
And it's
Okay.
not, as I said, I did want to be here, I did want to be here for, for the meetings that I've sat through time and time.
No,
again.
and that will be on the agenda in January.
And I was pretty insistent that
Yeah, the
that was
plan
a
is
meeting
that is
I
to be,
couldn't miss.
yeah, that is to be on the meeting, the agenda in January, and part of the reason for trying to get some additional things is so we
Yep.
can finish that up if we aren't so
Please.
lucky. Yes, I agree with you. Okay. So calendar items, we're done, we're good. Everyone knows the plan. We know when Mr. Katanachi's not available. I'm just, okay. Next up is Jersey Power Sports LLC, Block 16, Lot 19, 1030 Route 202. This is being held until January 21st, 2025 with no further notice. So this will be continued until January 21st, 2025 with no further notice. I'm looking at Tam to make sure I said it right. Yes. Okay. Next up, after that, any questions? No. Next up is invoices. We have the Hire and Gruel invoices, and we have the Parker McKay invoices, and I'm going to do them as two separate motions, only because I put them in separately. So, Hire and Gruel, may I have a motion to approve the Hire and Gruel and Associates invoices?
I don't see that one. Is that one in this?
No, that's in your paper. That's on the agenda from before. May I have a motion to approve Hire and Gruel invoices?
I
Candace?
so move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
I-
Are you abstaining? Or?
I'm abstaining because I haven't seen them.
Okay. Dante, abstain. Thank you. And then may I have a motion to approve the Parker McKay invoices, 1, 2, 3, and 4?
moved.
So
Second.
moved, Kanachi. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everyone, okay. Well, then let me just make a note on that one. Dante abstains. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
it'll probably be
Okay, items for discussion. We do not have any unless there's something that we need to bring up. No, okay. Oral reports. Ringo's Advisory Committee.
Do you want to talk about the
Please, go ahead.
delay in the circulation plan, and also, I think, the Kleinschmidt House?
Sure. So on traffic calming, we announced at the Township Committee meeting that while we'd gotten the state on board for restriping our roads to do some immediate traffic calming, the county insisted on collection of more data first. So unfortunately, that's gonna mean we're not gonna be able to get restriping done, until the end of winter at the earliest. So we did get the county to go out. They have put down, traffic detection equipment, so they're detecting both the number of passers in our downtown there, where the county road and the state road are together on the same roadway, and also the speed. I feel strongly this is gonna justify traffic calming. The county came to the meeting and wanted to know why we thought traffic calming was an issue, and so we kind of had to restart a little bit. So they at least are have put the equipment out there. I verified that it's out there. Also, they're gonna lend us for a couple weeks a flasher that will say, your vehicle is traveling X miles per hour.
Yes.
And we'll get them to drag that around to multiple places in the X where the two roads cross and depart, hopefully to bring some education to motorists who drive through our downtown Ringo's area.
Although that's going to skew the data, because some people might actually slow down. You know what I mean?
I do, so I had them delay putting up the signs for that reason, because you're right on that, Jamal, exactly right. So we should have 2 weeks of data with no signage, then 2 weeks of data with the signage. Hopefully it'll educate, and if I can get them to leave the equipment out there, maybe they can see the advantage of that, because where I'd like to go is phase 1, restriping to make it a better intersections that would require stopping. So if you're coming north on 579, instead of continuing apace right through the downtown and then continuing on through town on 579 or south on 179, what we wanted was to make people make a stop at Mom's, look left, turn right. Also, if you're coming straight down 179 southward, we feel like there'll be nothing to slow you down other than the signage. But if you want to continue on to 179 to go toward Lambertville, you wouldn't be able to just continue on through. You'd have to again make a right turn. So phase 1 is to try to get that striping in there for as many of those things as possible. Phase 2 would be, we're getting some information about flashing signs, both to say what the speed is that your vehicle's traveling. Hopefully it's not too expensive. It's a cost we probably have to incur mostly ourselves. The state only has a small subsidy benefit. But also to have, I'd like us to investigate getting the push button for pedestrians. So especially when you're at Mom's or at Carousel and you're going across where we had that fatality some years back, if you push the buttons, you could actually get stoppage. So I think those ideas would be really good.
Dante, does the county know that the senior housing is going in right there? I mean, that's one of my concerns about really why we have to slow it, because we'll have a lot of people crossing.
Well, that's gonna, by the time, when they build it, sure, that will be an issue, but right now, I'm just trying to getting some immediate benefit, because I wish the county were more persuaded by what we were saying from our residents and from the township committee about the need. I think the data that they collect will help in that. You're right that, before that facility is built and people are using it, we'll definitely need to lock down that we've made improvements in this, and if we need more, maybe push buttons going across, because you have folks hopefully are going to the library right across the street again.
Or to catch a bus, or to...
So those push button flashes I think would be helpful, but I think those two regulating entities have not really been focused on this area in years, and so I think getting their attention was good, but it looks like it's taking longer than I'd wanted. But that's in progress. So we'll continue to work with that. The other thing that Candy mentioned that we should update you on is Kleinschmidt House. So Kleinschmidt House, unfortunately, has been there falling apart, dilapidated, and an eyesore at least since 1994, when the last of the family members passed. And it's just sat there. It's probably bad for a couple decades before that too, but there at least was a family member who was supposed to be doing something. So when, as you know, when this matter was brought to our attention by the historical committee and also the cemetery association, Mike Dendis and I went down to Trenton to get money so that we'd have some funds without our own taxpayers paying for it to demolish that structure. We got a contractor, finally got that done. So on November 20th, they knocked down the building, filled in the basement with soil, and reseeded it. So we finally gotten that dilapidated structure off of the premises, and I'm hopeful that this will be the leading edge of an improvement and beautification plan for Ringo's Village, because we have a number of structures in need of attention in various sorts, and some of them public safety risk perhaps. So we were very happy that that happened. I'm also going to explore with our professionals whether there's a way to now sell that property at tax sale, because that property hasn't been paying taxes. It's not really developable by anybody. It's probably 25 feet wide, so you can't really use it. But maybe the cemetery association might be able to to buy it at sheriff's sale, and then they'd be able to take care of some of those trees that are hanging over and they've already broken.
Because it's next to the cemetery.
Yeah, they're hanging over. They've broken a wall in one place. They've broken some headstones, and it actually would look really great with some of those trees cleared out, safer. And maybe if the cemetery association doesn't have funds, maybe a goodwill person in the community might help buy and turn it over or something. But I think we have some opportunities now to go that last yard.
Township owns it by dint of unpaid taxes?
No, we don't own it. We just we have a lien on the property.
Because of the taxes.
For payment, non-payment
Okay,
of
yeah,
taxes.
I-
So we don't have to take it, but we do have the legal authority, I
Okay.
believe, to have it sold for payment.
Got it.
And that would be an opportunity for someone like the association or a friend of the association to actually take title, then they'd have the authority. I only jury-rigged authority to do this because it was declared to be a nuisance and a public safety risk, which gave us the authority to go on and remediate that risk because the landowner didn't. But we really don't have authority to do much else, but a property owner would.
Okay.
So as I've been thinking about how to solve that problem, I think that's might be a pretty clever way of getting some authority to an entity that would really benefit from it and, get it the rest of the way. At least for now, it doesn't look horrible, it improves our
It's not
community's
safe.
look, it's not
It's
gonna
not
fall
unsafe.
on anybody, it's
Yeah.
not gonna destroy any
So
more
the deed
property.
is still in the family.
Yeah,
So you gotta get the deed out of the family.
yeah, exactly.
In the district.
I'll
they
miss
just-
the wisteria. That was the only beautiful, they had magnificent.
I heard.
Magnificent
I heard there was great wisteria in
and
the building.
For 3 weeks,
Right,
it was truly, worthy of.
right.
I bet you the
photograph.
wisteria will come back. It's hard. to
Yes.
get rid of it. Yeah.
Oh, no, this wisteria was 100 years old.
Yeah, I think it dates with the property,
I mean, you're
unfortunately.
talking about.
Oh, really, that big?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and when it bloomed, it was just all flowers.
Wow.
It was pretty spectacular, very, very Japanese looking because it got all twisted because
Right.
timbers had fallen on it
Right.
and roof tiles and it was a total mess with this
Well,
beautiful wisteria.
I did want to try to save the timbers in case there were any historic timbers, but they were so rotted they weren't of value. But I didn't know to try to save the wisteria.
You wouldn't want to save, you couldn't save the wisteria.
The roots, though, are still below
Mm.
ground.
Well, let's
Oh,
see.
trust me, the
If something
wisteria
pop-
will come back, you're
Oh,
right.
really? All right. Well, we'll let you guys take a look at that when that happens. We'll see if we have some ownership rights and somebody
Hand that
who
over
can-
to the
who can be
Environmental
told.
Commission.
Yeah, that's right.
But you need to do this, I mean, otherwise the township could just simply turn the land over, but you can't because you gotta get the deed out.
Do we have any knowledge of any surviving family members? I
Uh,
thought that had been researched and there were no surviving.
Yeah. Well, as far as we know, there are no survivors. It went into the
And who-
estate.
And what would they care about?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
They would take a
No, they can't
liability.
do it.
Twenty-
well, they
feet
could
in
sign
front
it
of the
over, but
cemetery.
if there's somebody to sign it over.
What?
So the district would sell the tax liability on vacant properties to a private entity who would then do adverse possession. I mean, I wonder if we can take a cue from that, because then we would get paid for the back taxes, and then somebody else would
I'll
do
have
the-
them take a look at whatever the ways are, but I feel there's some way in there where we should be able to do it without taking title, and look, frankly, if we don't get paid our tax debt, but somebody is willing to take it
Yes.
and take
Yeah.
ownership, you know, at this point, we haven't been collecting taxes apparently, well, as long as anybody's known about it, right? So,
Right.
so I think, yeah, we'll figure out something, I hope.
We'll get a report back.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Farmland open space?
We are still waiting on SADC to take a look at our report. We are
We were
on their
next,
desk
right?
now.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's not really
heard.
next. It's being reviewed, and there's some discussion of merging farmland and open space with the Ag Advisory Committee.
Okay,
Just to get some economies of scale and
Yeah.
not have duplicate meetings.
yep, hear you, yeah. Okay. Environmental Commission, is that merged yet?
That's, we're just trying to find, I think that the proposed merger, I think there's consensus that
Okay.
it should be merged with recycling, but we're looking for the chair for the Environment Committee.
Okay.
Yeah, so PSA, if anybody who's listening who cares about the environment and wants to step in, we need some more new blood so that that committee can get active. And as Jamal's saying, and then be great to, as economy of scale, to put the two groups together, but we can't do it until we get a little more horsepower on the top there to lead the charge.
Historic preservation, I know Mary's not here. There was that, where, the ordinance was not introduced. Is that coming in January?
Yes.
I'm waiting, I'm looking at you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Historic
What are you asking
Preservation,
about?
the Historic Preservation Committee, you were like thinking about something.
Oh, yes, I was thinking of the next steps. So historic preservation ordinance, we attempted to introduce it, but the consensus was because we couldn't get to it and complete it by December, and you can't introduce in 1 year and then approve in the next year, we're forced to wait to
Okay.
introduce it the first township committee meeting in January.
Okay.
So that, yeah, that, we would have already proceeded, but procedurally we couldn't, so the
Fair
attempt
enough.
is we'll
Yeah.
do that early January, then make sure that the public has an opportunity to fully understand and comment if they like before any action's taken.
Okay, thank you. Kristen is not here. Just from the chair, there's a couple things I wanted to say. One is, this is for you, Dante. I'd really like to see if we can get some more alternates. We're, we run thin, and tonight is a good example. The applicant was not comfortable not having more than 5 people, and we're not here, we're not able to hear an application. There's been a time when we didn't have a quorum. We have, one of our alternates, for no one's being irresponsible, it's just life. So,
Yep.
on the record.
I would put another PSA out there. If folks are, have some experience in the area, are committed to the township and would be interested in serving, please let us know. I mean, as the folks know that I got to join last time, I did a lot of outreach to try to find folks who were interested. I think right now we have a lot of vacancies, or more vacancies than I'd like, because people I think have a lot of activities, family events. The holidays are happening, and then I think it's harder these days to get folks who have time to do it. So if you want to regale them with how great it is being on this body, I think that would be awesome, and let me know. But I'll continue to beat the bushes, and we
Yeah.
have others looking as well.
And just so the board knows, we have, the Monahan Matter, Jersey Power Sports, and then we have one other application, another application that's complete, and another one that's in progress, and possibly one more. So this is in part why I'm trying to move us along. This is in part why I'm asking for dates. Just, it's a courtesy to the residents, especially, who want to make changes to their houses or just things.
Yep.
I don't like to make them wait on a lot of time. And obviously,
Agreed.
we do everything we can for that, but I did want to just bring that up.
I think you're going down the right road with that, adding extra meetings.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was thinking back to this. I was starting to look at some of the history, and, we merged these two. I think it was coming out of COVID, or during COVID, or at some point when we
before.
merged zoning board and
Was
planning.
before.
Okay, before, we came out of COVID, and I feel like we had this quiet time, and now we have people doing things, and we're feeling that, and so I don't, I'm not prepared to say, oh, we need extra meetings all the time, but I am, and we've also had a couple applications that took us a very long time to get through. So, and then on that matter, I will be reaching out probably individually to a lot of you. I want to talk about what we can do to perhaps move these applications, during, things like, can we limit the time people are allowed to make comments? And I'm putting this on the record right now that I want to have conversations about this. Just to, there's other ideas people have, I'd like to hear them. One of the things I'll be asking our attorney, I want to make sure that the applicants get a full hearing, but that we're also efficient with our time and that we're doing a good service to the residents. So anyone, I'll reach out individually, but I just wanted you to know that it's something on my mind. Anything else? Well, this is the end of the year for us. It's been a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Good job, Chair.
Yeah,
Vice
exactly.
Chair.
Made it
Good
through.
job, guys.
yeah, good
Open
job,
the
good job.
public.
Yep.
Good
May I
job,
may I have a
Deputy Chair.
motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? We are open to the public. Francis, come on up.
Francis?
You won the lottery. No.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Francis Gavigan, Wardsville Road. Congratulations on a good year. Read between the lines as you will. It's 30 years this month since I moved here. And for the first 15 years, I think, there were 2 meetings a month of the planning board. And there was a board of adjustment. So you may, it's certainly a history and justification. And I've seen lines of people wanting to meet with the zoning officer. So that could do it. I understand the train trestle got hit again. And one of the things I noticed coming back, other than the debris around it, when you go through on 579 through Mercer County, Harlan, Mount Airy, Harborden, and on down, there's signs, and they're all lit, says no truck traffic, and I've seen a police officer giving tickets to trucks using it. So if Mercer County can have a road, can have 579, no truck traffic, why can't we? I know the mindset at the county, especially roads and bridges, it's sort of swung back to the build, move traffic, get people from here to there and all that, and pedestrians and squirrels and anything else sort of be damned. And that railroad and the trestle is an historic landmark that is not protected. It is not, at some point in time, it's going to take it out. And you can't fix stupid, but, maybe you can come up with something to do that. So that would be one thing to do, to make it not a truck. You can't stop somebody doing local deliveries. So the little business that's there, they're a depot, they make deliveries from, but they have trucks that can go under. I followed a truck that was heading that way, and it turned into that lot and had no problem getting in there because it was short enough. We've lost bridges, it's only a miracle that we haven't lost that train trestle. So the county can do it if the county wants it, and if the people of East Amwell go to the county and tell them what they expect. I know, I've done it before. If you go out 523 towards White House, there's a stretch there where the speed limit is like 35 miles an hour, maybe 40, because the people in that little snippet of 523 said no, and they got enough squeak out of people in power at the county. So if people from East Amwell went down to a freeholders meeting or went and started asking for relief, not only for the village, but also for, you know, the roads that get destroyed, that would be helpful. You know, I know it's doable. You go up to Hampton, there's another place where it's, the speed limit on a county road is 25 miles an hour. You know, but someone has to go and talk to the powers that be. And I'm just one person. I'll go. I'll even drive if anybody wants to go. But, you know, you don't ask, you don't get. The other question that I have, because it popped up on my cell phone, a wonderful opportunity for an Airbnb in Ringo's. Are Airbnbs and the other things, are they legal? Is that something you can do in East Amwell? Yes, no, or it's a gray area we haven't looked at? Because there are Airbnbs running and renting for quite a bit of money, and there might be people, if it is legal and there is an intention of the township to say, well, you know, it's how people manage to pay their taxes, you know, let them do it, then there might be more people who would do it. So that's a question. And if you want to cut down on the amount of work, when you can get back to your ordinances and things like that, to try to simplify some of, you know, the stuff that's triggering. There should be an end-of-the-year report generated now for variances and what triggers them and why people are having to spend, you know, that one man spent $100,000 and then got told no, and others have too. You know, keep it simple. Something as simple as setbacks and impervious cover and things like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis.
Harry Misses.
Anyone else? Seeing no one else, may I have a motion to close the public?
So moved.
All in favor, without objection, we are closed. We have no correspondence. Before I ask for a motion to adjourn, does anyone have anything they desperately need to say? Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, without objection, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Hold on while Tim shuts it all down.
How tall is that railroad?
It's like 12 feet and something.
9 inches.
It's very narrow.
12
It's
nine?
narrow.
So
but-
isn't it normally 12.6?